Hello my dear sewing friends, it's Alisa here. Welcome back to Sew Easy Season 2, Episode 5. And today for you I have a really simple, really easy project that comes together without a pattern. We're also going to add some cute pom-poms into the mix. So this is just the type of cheerful project for summer that I think a lot of us need. And this piece of colorful rayon is going to become a swimsuit cover-up. As you can see, you can wear it two ways. One of them is on your waist as a skirt, the other one is above your bust. So it's definitely up to you. But apart from fabric, the pom-poms, which if you'd like, you can skip or opt for a different type of trim, you will also need elastic. Now, in terms of how much fabric you will need, first you're going to determine the length. So this is about a yard. For you, it might be a different measurement, and add a couple of inches extra to it to account for hemming and of course folding under for the elastic. Now, when it comes to the width of the fabric, we're going to use somewhat of a similar principle as we do for a gathered waist skirt. So we're going to take the width that is definitely bigger than our waist because we're going to be gathering the fabric. There's another way how you can determine it. You can take your elastic, place it around your waist, and cut it so that way you can meet the ends of the elastic comfortably, like so. Then grab your piece of fabric and determine the comfortable width of your elastic, the realistic width of your elastic that it can stretch to. Once you have determined that, place your fingers here on the fabric and you can mark that placement. Anything that's extra, you can cut it off. My elastic is about 25 inches long. My actual waist is about 29 inches. Now here I find that the particular technique that we're going to be using does stretch out elastic a little bit extra in the process. So I usually snip off another inch or two from those 25 inches that I mentioned. And then I'm going to cut my fabric to be about 40 inches wide. Now, of course, don't forget that these are my personal measurements and you will be using measurements that work for you. As far as the fabric suggestions, I would personally go for something flowy and light. I will leave a list of suggested fabrics for you in the description of this video. Now make sure that you save that little piece that we have cut off because we're going to use it for the ties. But right now we need to tidy up the bottom of our rectangle and curve it in because that's where we're going to apply our pom-poms. As you can see, my hem here is all sorts of interesting. So first I'm actually going to cut it straight and even it out. Now here at the corner, I'm going to curve it in. If you're a little bit hesitant to cut a curve, I totally get you. You can use a large round plate or a pot in order to help you with that and trace around it. I'm going to start the entire sewing process by finishing the hem first. This is the right side of my skirt, one of the top corners. I'm going to take my pom-poms, place it so that way they are right on the edge of the fabric, like so. And now I'm going to stitch it down with a wide zigzag stitch. Alright, once all of the pom-poms are attached, let me show you, here they are. Now we have to do a second pass where we're going to fold this under like so and then stitch with a straight stitch on the right side of the fabric, catching the other side, making sure that it lays flat. Alright, now the entire hem is done. Now let's do the top and the ties. For that, I have cut two rectangles. This is how it's going to look like when it's all done, and this is how it looks before we put it together. It's about 16 inches by 3.5. Then we're going to place it right sides together and stitch it along the long end and one of the short ends. Once it is stitched, I'm going to turn it right side out and give it a really good press. Once that is done, as mentioned, we're going to top stitch all the way around on all 3 sides. Now I have 2 pieces for the ties. Now I'm going to grab my elastic and my ties and we're going to join them together. And we're going to place them like this at the ends and zigzag it, and we're going to repeat it on both sides. Here I'm going over this part with a zigzag quite a few times to ensure that this is nice and secure. Once done, now we're ready to move on to the last and final part of this project, which is going to be installing the elastic. To ensure even distribution of elastic and gathers, first I want to mark halfway point of my elastic, fold it in half, and the same on my skirt. Now I can open this up as well as the elastic and place these right sides together, making sure that this connection with the clean side is facing the clean side of the skirt, and then pin it right here. Now I'm going to take one end of the skirt and place it right here, just a little bit further away from the end of the elastic, and again pin it, and I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Stretching elastic as I sew, I'm going to attach the top part of the skirt to the elastic with a zigzag stitch. I start by securing the thread without stretching the elastic just yet. Once I'm done with the back stitching, then I use one of the ties in order to stretch the elastic evenly as I zigzag it. When done, this is what you're going to have. Now let's turn the elastic like so, and we're going to stitch it down a few more times just with a straight stitch in each one of these little rows of my elastic. And we're going to do that exactly the same way as we did with the zigzag one, stretching the elastic as we sew. The first row is usually the hardest one, but with each following row it's going to get easier and easier, and you will see how that beautiful stitching of the elastic gets formed. After completing fourth and final row, my project is done, so now let's take a look at the final result. And by the way, from the little piece of fabric that was left over, I made 2 little scrunchies. So that's it. The fabric is gone. Now, if you want to see how to draft and how to sew a top that I'm wearing right now, then click on the video right over here. I'll guide you through the steps so that way you are all ready for summer. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy, thoughtful sewing. Bye!